Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Final look at AT&T Stadium of the 2019 season. Cowboys put up big numbers today against the Redskins, but the Eagles won against the Giants, and that would seal the fate of the Cowboys as they miss out on playoffs and finish 8-8 on the season. Welcome into Game Night here at the Star in Frisco. Nate Newton, I'm Lindsay Draper. We've got lots coming up in this show for you to hear from out at the stadium. But Nate, quickly before we begin, can you sum up what you wanted coming into this season, what you thought you were going to have, and then the way the season ended?
10-plus wins. I thought it would be 11 wins easily, but they were very inconsistent. The record showed it. They were 8-8. That's how they wind up 8-8. Very inconsistent. Defensively, special teams wasn't in place. Our offense was doing well, but it kind of got a lot of empty numbers because they were behind too much. So very inconsistent season.
And empty numbers is a good way to put it. For
Yes.
as many statistics as they finish so high, to finish 8-8. We'll hear more from these guys on this, but for now, let's hear from head coach Jason Garrett following the final game of the 2019 season.
Yeah, disappointing. It was out of our hands. You know, the biggest thing we talked about all week long was control what we can't control. That was going to be our preparation and how we played, and the guys were unbelievable this week. We had one of those incredibly memorable days on Christmas afternoon. We came in at 12:30 and just had one of the best practices I've ever been a part of in my time as a player and coach in the National Football League. And there was a spirit and energy and a juice to our guys that was so reflective of who they are, their personal character, their football character. And, it was one of those days where, typically we practice at 11:15. And, we practiced later in the day, 3:45 till 5:30. And the sun was hitting the field a little bit of a different way. And it was getting dark at the end. And we had compete periods and drive starter periods at the end. And it was a little bit like when we were kids, hey, next touchdown wins type thing. It was getting dark. And just the spirit and the energy of the guys was off the charts, and that set the tone for us all week long. Did a hell of a job on Thursday and Friday preparing to play this game. And again, we had to control what we controlled. That was our preparation, how we played, and so damn proud of our guys, how we played today.
Jason, late in this game when you knew that you weren't going to win the division and Philly had that, did you get emotional at all thinking that this could have been the last time you were with this franchise?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was to stay focused on the task at hand. And again, today was all about controlling what we control as players and coaches to go put a great effort out there. And it wasn't a perfect game by any means. We all recognize that. But the spirit, the energy, the juice, the determination, was off the charts. And the character of the men showed up. We challenged everybody last night to stand tall. You stand tall through success. You stand tall through adversity. And our guys did that. So proud to be a part of this football team.
Why do you think this team went 8-8 ultimately?
Obviously didn't play consistently well enough. I thought we played well at different times. Within games, we weren't consistent enough. From week to week, we weren't consistent enough. Last year, we did a really good job winning a ton of close games. We did not win the close games this year. We didn't do what we needed to do at the critical moments in those games, and that's really what this league comes down to.
Every week when we
There he goes, Jason Garrett. We'll be talking a lot about him in the weeks and days to come here from the Star. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will hear from not 1, 2, 3 touchdowns for Michael Gallup in his season finale. Great season, too. Next.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Play the Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. It's your ticket for a chance to win big.
We are here continuing Cowboys game night from the Star in Frisco, and everyone's going to be talking, Nate, about how the Cowboys can lock up Amari Cooper going forward if they're going to do that. But wow, what a young star they have in Michael Gallup, and how much he's grown in just 2 years.
Up and coming. He came into this year, man, got a little injured, got a little nicked up, was out of whack, came back, and over the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been very consistent. He has that little drop every now and then, but once he get rolling, man, he is hard to stop. Great play this year from Michael Gallup.
Fantastic. Something to be proud of. Let's check in now with Gallup alongside Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg, guys.
Lindsay, wasn't hard to find one of the biggest stars for this game for the Cowboys. Michael Gallup had his first multi-touchdown game, 3 touchdowns today, was right at 100, went over 1,000 yards last week. So what's it feel like to get in the end zone 3 times?
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. You know, it hasn't happened for me in the league like that yet. So, you know, it just keeps a smile on your face.
Now, that first one was the one down in the corner. Tell us how that play unfolded.
It's actually, it's called a spin 4. So I have a 4 route, you know, initially where I'm coming across the middle. And then if Dak, you know, looks my way, because really I'm like the last read, he looks my way, then I just break out to the back pylon. So, you know, he gave me the eyes, and I was like, okay, ball coming to me. So, you know, I had to make a play.
And, Michael, all 3 touchdowns came in the second half. Why'd you wait so long?
Well, I mean, you know, maybe I just needed a little kick in the booty, you know, at halftime. So.
Well, and the one, I sat there, you were running a little shallow crosser, and I could see the corner coming off on the other side. And I said, oh, no, this is not going to end well for you. And you spun out of that tackle. You had to know he was sitting there and you were going to take a shot.
Oh, yeah.
So how were you able to manage that thing and then go up the sideline? You got a great block from Tony Pollard, by the way, at the end of it.
For sure. But, I saw him. I was being stubborn. I didn't want to stop. Because last time I stopped, I dropped that pass. So I was like, all right, I'm going to just keep running. Just let him, you know, throw it right between the 1 and the 3. That's what he did. And I just made him right, you know, by spinning out that tackle.
And on that play, I remember that we talked about the fact that we didn't know what would happen today, but clearly you and Tony Pollard were 2 of the reasons that this team's got a very bright future. You're still just kind of scratching the surface, I think, and yet you made tremendous strides from your rookie year. What are the ways you improved the most, do you think, and what are you looking forward to getting better at?
You know, I definitely would say, you know, just getting my playbook and, you know, knowing where I need to be and knowing what Dak's, you know, how he's reading the offense, you know what I'm saying? Understanding what he's looking at first, and then if I'm the third read, you know, the second read, first read, that was a big thing. And then also just, you know, my route running coach Sanjay's been helping me a lot, you know, making sure I'm staying low, making sure I'm getting in and out of my breaks. So, you know, I've made some strides in certain areas. I would definitely say, you know, coming into next year, just make sure I'm catching everything now. You know, that's the goal. Just make sure I'm catching everything now.
Michael, we appreciate it very much. A tremendous season and just the beginning of things to come for you. We know. We thank you for the time.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
There's Michael Gallup. Lindsay, back to you.
Thanks, guys. A lot more to come out from AT&T Stadium, but for now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Joe Looney is up next. What a great fill-in, an all-time personality here for the Cowboys. Next up on Game Night.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Play the Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. It's your ticket for a chance to win big. This segment is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, he's known for his infectious personality and likable spirit here in the Cowboys locker room, but also known for stepping up whenever the Cowboys need him to and wherever that position may be. Here he is now with Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg. Joe Looney.
Lindsay, thanks. Joe Looney, since he has been a Cowboy, has just stepped up and done what was needed of him. And today that was play left guard, and he helped open up a bunch of holes and helped the Cowboys to their big win over Washington. And last year, what was needed was for you to play every game at center. This year, what was needed was for you to play on special teams and be ready and then start this last game. How do you do that mentally? What's your way of fixing your mindset?
Well, I just think you got to prepare every game like you're going to be the starter. You know, people call it a backup role, but, you know, I see it as, you know, I'm a starter standing on the sideline, and, you know, it's my job to be ready. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's what I get paid for. That's my job to, you know, if somebody, you know, gets hurt or something happens, to be ready and go in there and keep the machine rolling.
Zeke's big run, I couldn't see it at first, but I said, what a block downfield. I can't wait to see who that was, and now we know who it was. Do you know when you make a block like that in the open field that you're opening the door for something big and you're looking around and you say, okay, I did that?
You know, during the game, it's, you know, just looking for somebody to block. When you're in the moment, you don't really see it. You know, you just kind of hit somebody and then you look for somebody else to hit. But, credit to Zeke on the play, getting the ball in the end zone. That's all that matters on plays. If we score 7, that's the goal.
And, Joe, 2 things had to happen today, obviously. You guys did your part winning the game. I know that they didn't post the score or anything up on the Philly game.
Mm-hmm.
When did you know that either, A, they were leading, or B, they had won the game?
I think when we were coming into the locker room, we knew what the score was of the game.
So at no point when you were standing on the field or playing the game, you no word?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not focused on that. We had to take care of, get this win tonight. But it's a bittersweet feeling, because it's hard to win in the NFL. It's hard to get these wins, but at the end of the day, you want to put yourself in that tournament.
So what was that feeling like when you said, okay, we won? What happened with the Philly game, and then you find out that they had won? What was that feeling like at that moment?
It's that bittersweet feeling. It's one of those things that you just got to take on the chin and get ready for the offseason, work hard so you can put yourself in that position to be there.
And is there a word that you can think of to summarize this season? It was really unusual, ups and downs, and ultimately downs.
I don't think there's one word that I can put it on, but one thing I am, I've created some great relationships in this locker room, and we got a great group of guys, and I love these guys, and I know if we keep working the way we do, we're going to do something special.
Joe Looney, we appreciate it. Thank you. Happy New
Thank you,
Year.
Joe.
Lindsay, back to you.
Thanks, guys. Another break here from the studio. When we come back, Jason Witten and what could be possibly his final interview as a Dallas Cowboy with Brad and Babe right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're back on Cowboys game night. A disappointing ending to the season, 8-8 with all the talent, including Jason Witten coming out of retirement to join the Cowboys. Let's hear what he has to say after what could be his final game with Brad and Babe. Guys?
Lindsay, we said at the end of the radio broadcast, I learned a long time ago that when you're around greatness, it's a good idea to take a mental picture of it that you can hold forever because it goes away all too fast. It seems like yesterday that Bill Parcells was yelling in a rookie minicamp at a special teams drill, wanting Jason Witten to block, and then he said, oh, I forgot Witten, you're a receiving tight end. And now here you are taking what looked like a victory lap to say goodbye. Was that what we saw?
I just think you can maybe call it that. I don't know if I want to go there right now, but I just wanted to show my appreciation. These fans have embraced me since day one, and I'm so disappointed that we won't have an opportunity to compete for a championship, because that truly was my motivation every single day that I came into that organization and went to work. And it's why we love this game, because it's hard. And it's so hard to get to the point where you can compete for a championship. So just wanted to share that. I didn't have that moment in 2017 when I retired, and I wanted to recognize all the people that I appreciate. And, it's a tough day.
You ever had a more hollow 47-16 win and walk off the field and you find out Philadelphia had won, and so obviously you're out of the playoffs?
I never experienced anything like it. Really you showed up today and you just felt like, it was going to work out. We had to take care of our business and felt like maybe New York could beat them. But look, we had opportunities this season and we fell short. And it's a tough day across the board, because I think this team was close. But we didn't play well at critical times this season, and I can go back at different points and recognize that. But I wanted to share with those guys. When I came back, it was a huge challenge. I'm proud of the way I played, but more importantly, I'm proud that I was able to kind of be there for those young players who I think have really bright futures, that are cornerstone pieces in this organization, and just show them how you do it. And it's a tough game, and you got to be mentally tough. You got to go in there and approach it every day and say, everybody's watching. They're watching what you do every single day. And for all the young kids out there that want to be here one day, just know that it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of determination, and, but it's worth it. This game's been so good to me. I love this game, and it was a heck of a year.
At the end of the radio broadcast, Babe said, what's one Jason Witten moment you'll take with you? I had mine. He had his. Whenever you walk away, Is there what's the first thing that comes to your mind, a moment that's going in your snapshot memory book?
Oh, the start. I think the beginning. Green as I could be, just turned 21 years old, playing for a legendary coach in Bill Parcells, who had a blueprint on what the tight end position looked like, and walking into the Valley Ranch and meeting the Jones family and seeing the legendary figures that, my grandfather talked about, of Tom Landry and Roger Staubach and Michael Irvin, and saying that I'm going to be one of those guys one day. And nobody in hell probably thought that was going to happen, but to be standing here, and really it's the relationships. I mean, guys like you guys and certainly those teammates that just walked out. I mean, it's a small family, and you sacrifice a lot, but this organization is surrounded with really good people. And I think the older you get, you appreciate going to work every day and being around people that are passionate, make others around them better, and are unselfish. And that's something that I appreciate. So 16 years, I don't know if that's going to be the end. I'll take a few days and figure it out. But I think this decision will happen pretty quickly here in the next few weeks.
Very quickly, I know it's fresh for you, but have you decided which one of us is going to give the induction speech for you can? Or you want to take some time on that too?
I think I'm going to take a little time, but I really am. Coming back, I'm proud of the way I played. It's a different offense than it was in 2012, and I caught over 100 passes. It's a different system, but I'm really proud, and to have that relationship with those young players that are going to have long, very successful careers because they approach the game the right way and they're talented. To have an impact on them, that's something I'll cherish for a long time. But love this game, and somehow, some way, I feel like I'll stay around it.
Just so you know, it'll be me. It's been an honor.
Thank you, guys. You're the best.
Jason Witten, Lindsay, back to you.
Thanks, guys. Great stuff from Witten, as always. Final break. When we come back, Nate Newton will look ahead to the offseason, some big storylines we need to keep our eyes on right here on Cowboys Game Night.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, Reliant, and NRG Company. U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Choose VA today. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
As the 2019 season, Nate, and the decade comes to a close here, what are you watching for? We all know that the head coaching situation will be one that we have our eyes on, but what's something else that you got to keep an eye on as we move into even this week here in the offseason?
It's 26 guys free, players that are unrestricted and be allowed to move around. You take care of Dak Prescott, you take care of Amari Cooper if you can, but you got a lot of guys like Blake Jarwin that we got to see if we want him back. Jones, the cornerback, see if we can get him back. It's a lot of guys out there. You can say all you want, hey, we don't want these guys. But you know what? You got to have the nucleus stay together.
Yeah,
we got
you can only draft so much.
Right, we got a few guys here, but we need some more. So who's going to get the
Who's at the top of your priority list aside from Dak Prescott?
Blake Jarwin for me. I want to see what this kid can do.
That shouldn't be too hard, right? He didn't get a ton of looks this season. You think people want this guy?
People going to want this guy. This guy's a catch, 20-yard per catch guy, and they saw enough of that.
Nate Newton said it first. Lindsay Draper, thanks for tuning in to Game Night. We'll see you guys all off season long on DallasCowboys.com.